points next to her. You go out. No, that's all you get today, though. That's it.
I know. I can't believe you.
That's it. No. Just that. Yeah.
Off camera, not so nice.
No. Never. Never.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have spent years as Hollywood's favorite couple. They joke about each other on social media, make red carpet appearances that scream couple goals, and have built a brand around their playful dynamic. But every perfect Hollywood love story has its cracks, and lately those cracks are starting to show. Right now, Blake Lively is gearing up for a massive legal showdown against Justin Baldoni in 2026. Fans are already picking sides, and the drama is only getting messier. But comedian Heather McDonald just threw a wrench into the narrative. She's not focused on Lively or Baldoni. Instead, she's looking straight at Ryan Reynolds. In a recent interview, McDonald suggested that Reynolds might be the real troublemaker in all of this. According to her, he may have discovered some friendly messages between Lively and Baldoni, and that didn't sit well with him. She even speculated that Reynolds might have come across these messages while using one of their kids' iPads. Then there's Baldoni's infamous 2 a.m. voice note to Lively. That leak caused a frenzy online, with some believing it showed a past friendship, while others saw something more. McDonald, for one, isn't blaming Baldoni. She says the note makes Lively and Reynolds look more like the bullies in this situation. Of course, this isn't just about secret messages and late-night voice notes. Lively has filed a lawsuit against Baldoni, accusing him of sexual harassment and a smear campaign. Baldoni fired back with a $400 million countersuit, claiming that Lively and Reynolds tried to take over the film using intimidation tactics. If that wasn't enough, Lively's team is now pushing for a gag order to stop Baldoni's team from leaking more private messages and videos. The drama is so intense, it's making past Hollywood feuds look like playground arguments. But let's step back for a second. How did we even get here? For years, Lively and Reynolds have been the envy of Hollywood. Their relationship started on the set of Green Lantern in 2010, but here's where things get tricky. At that time, Lively was still dating her Gossip Girl co-star Penn Badgley, and Reynolds was married to Scarlett Johansson. Both relationships ended in late 2010, and soon after, Lively and Reynolds became just friends. Convenient timing, right? There have always been whispers that their romance didn't start as cleanly as they claim. A waitress who saw them at dinner in 2010 described their behavior as flirty, saying they looked more like a couple than just co-stars. Mind you, in 2024, a resurfaced tweet alleged that Lively and Reynolds actually hooked up while he was still married to Johansson. The tweet disappeared almost instantly, but the internet never forgets. Whether they started as an affair or not, one thing's for sure, when they got together, they moved fast. By October 2011, they were officially a couple, and a year later, they were married. For Reynolds, this wasn't unusual. When he got together with Johansson, it was just 2 months after ending his engagement to Alanis Morissette. For a while, their romance seemed like a fairy tale. They built a family, supported each other's careers, and became Hollywood's go-to couple for cute moments. But behind the smiles, things might not have been as perfect as they seemed. Over the years, there have been rumors of Reynolds being controlling and Lively not always being as happy as she appeared. Now, with Lively's legal battle heating up and McDonald pointing fingers at Reynolds, their picture-perfect relationship is under more scrutiny than ever. Is Reynolds really the mastermind behind the drama? Did jealousy push him into the spotlight of this feud? Or is this just another case of Hollywood turning private battles into public spectacles? Most people meet their future spouse through mutual friends or work. Ryan and Blake, they met while on a double date with other people. That's right. In a 2016 interview, Reynolds admitted that sparks flew between them while they were supposed to be charming their actual dates. That had to be an awkward night for the other two sitting at the table, watching a rom-com play out in real time. What's even crazier is how fast things moved after that. They started dating, and within a week, Reynolds suggested they buy a house together. Most people can't commit to a couch that quickly, let alone an entire house. But these two, they just went for it. Less than a year later, they were married. Some might call that impulsive. Others might call it fate. Either way, it worked. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Blake was 22 when she met Ryan, and he was 33. That's an 11-year gap. At that age, the difference between 22 and 33 is huge. One of them was probably talking about tax deductions, while the other was still figuring out what a 401k even is. By the time they tied the knot, Blake was 24 and Ryan was 35. It's not unheard of in Hollywood. Actors date with bigger gaps all the time, but it does make you wonder how different their life experiences were at the start. He had already been married and divorced. She was just stepping into adulthood. Yet somehow they made it work. And today they have 4 kids together: James, Inez, Betty, and their newest addition, Olin. On the surface, Ryan seems like the perfect husband. He's supportive, funny, and never misses a chance to hype up Blake. But there have been whispers over the years suggesting he might have some jealousy issues. A source once claimed that Ryan's controlling nature played a role in his split from Scarlett Johansson. According to reports, he expected her to drop everything for him, which didn't sit well with her independent streak. Even Johansson herself hinted at this in an interview when she talked about how tough it is to be with another actor. She mentioned the challenges of balancing 2 careers, especially when one person is more successful than the other. Was she talking about Ryan? Maybe. And if she was, it does make you wonder if those same issues ever showed up in his marriage with Blake. If there's one thing that Ryan and Blake probably regret, it's their wedding venue. In 2012, they tied the knot at Boone Hall Plantation in South Carolina. At the time, it probably seemed like a charming historic location, but there was a huge problem. The venue was once a working plantation, complete with preserved slave cabins. Even though they've apologized, the backlash still lingers. For years, people called them out for it, but the backlash really exploded in 2020. That's when Reynolds publicly admitted that getting married there was a giant effing mistake. He and Blake even donated $200,000 to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, acknowledging that they had been ignorant about the history of the place. To their credit, they didn't just brush it off. They took responsibility and used their platform to push for change. But the whole situation proved that even Hollywood's most beloved couple isn't immune to making some tone-deaf choices. Now here's where it gets even wilder. According to controversial commentator Candace Owens, Reynolds wasn't just a bystander in this drama. He was apparently the mastermind. At the end of the day, their marriage is a mix of romance, drama, and comedy, which, come to think of it, sounds a lot like a Ryan Reynolds movie. And if they ever do break up, well, you can bet he'll be the first one to crack a joke about it. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next Hollywood deep dive. See you in the next one.